So the concept I want you to know today is the concept of tensegrity and the perspective of working out with the fascia in mind. In every movement we do in the everyday life, there's never an isolated movement. The whole body goes into tension to execute the movement, meaning when you walk, when you pick up something, when you shake hands or whatever, the whole body goes into tension to execute that. Even when I'm sitting or standing, try to think about that. In the best world, the whole fascia, the whole body is well hydrated, meaning that it has its main propriety, it has its elasticity, and there's hardly any pain or restriction in the body. However, this almost never happens. What can happen is the following. So for you to have a clear understanding of what has an impact on the fascia, what has a negative impact on it, too much sitting, repetitive movements, poor posture and isolated exercises. On my right side, to make it easy for you, this is a healthy fascia and an unhealthy fascia. A healthy fascia is well hydrated and has these elastic properties that is really particular to the fascia. It has to be elastic. The right one is dehydrated, not organized at all, and has lost his spring motricity that is so particular to the fascia. So these two, this is just to explain you what is the difference. A healthy fascia will allow you to have mobility and almost no pain. The right side, the dehydrated one, will reduce mobility, and you see those small nodules here, those are trigger points, and they will create pain, either satellite pain or local pain on your body. Now, what can I do to have more healthy fascia? Several things. The first thing is you can apply pressure by using tools. A lacrosse ball, a bigger ball. If you have foam ball, it's good as well, but it's not the best, the most ideal tool I would be using. Second is to bring a variety of movement and using a fascia perspective when you do sport and using a full tensegrity of the body, which I will explain you right now. And finally, bring a big variety of movements in your training or in your daily life. The more variety of movement you have, the easier it will be for you to move afterwards. The less variety of movement you have in your daily life, the more difficult and more difficult it will become for you to move freely and to feel free within your body. Now let's go into the next part, which is working out with tensegrity and with a fascia perspective. So what do I mean with working out with a fascia perspective and a tensegrity on the entire body? What is important to get started with is the grounding. You need to feel the ground. You need to grab the ground with your feet, like I say, either by pushing out or just bringing the floor together, depending on the exercise. What is that going to do? If I push out right now, I feel the connection starting from my feet. You see my knee coming out, going up to my pelvis here. So I'm connecting the ground and feeling it here up to my leg side and connecting to my pelvis, meaning that every activity afterwards I do with connecting here and moving my thoracic cage will be connected from the ground. So the whole fascia is moving now, meaning that if I side bend, for example, I'm not side bending just by moving my thoracic cage or my pelvis. I'm side bending using the connection of the fascia to lengthening the lateral side here from my left foot up to the side of the rib cage, and maybe from the arm, if I have a weight here or something, a pulley, I push here. There's a lengthening of the fascia. Try that at home. And if you do that, but don't grab the ground and just let loose here, the impact is completely different. So that's what I mean. First, you need to grab the ground with your feet and ground yourself. Second is a posture I really want you to nail in to do is the hinging. To be able to hinge in this position will create more tension from the ground for the posterior chain. And especially for the move that I will ask you to do in the next few videos, which is the pulling motion and lever, I want you to feel that when you're going to be hinging, pushing your hips back, you feel the tension on your arm string and maybe a little bit behind the knee for the calves and some tension on the back. Obviously, you don't want to have too much curve. You have sort of like a neutral spine here, meaning that when you will be grabbing the pulley or the elastic and start pulling here, you will feel the connection going from your arm, your left shoulder, and most likely a bit more tension to your right glute as well, moving it up and getting a rotation at the end. You see, fascia is what allows you to get proprioception. What is proprioception? Proprioception is the ability for you to feel your body that moves into space. What a lot of people are losing is the ability to feel their lower back, to feel the shoulder blades. Most of the time, this is what the shoulder blades are so unfunctional now. So this is what I really want you to start practicing and getting more connection, starting from the ground up to your arm. And this is what we're going to be working on, these rotation of the rib cage, or these side bending of simple exercises, which when you will get more feeling, more proprioception, more control of your body and different segmentation that we're going to move together, then we're going to be able to start correcting unbalances and strengthen weakness in your body and in movement. So to close up this video, what I think you need to remember is that the most important thing is to focus, is to do all the movements you do consciously and try to bring as much awareness as you can on every single movement you do. It goes from walking as well. When you walk, trying to feel the lower part of the abdominal sucking in to support your lower back, to connect together, to feeling your feet when you walk. When you train, try to always connect your feet with the ground by grounding yourself and really be aware of the movement. Don't focus on volume, focus on quality movement. Then once you get the quality movement and you get the movement good and well connected, increase the weight a bit and increase the velocity and the speed afterwards. But for now, ground yourself and feel as many lines as possible when you do your movement. Keep it up.